Hooray!
You want to do the talking, Paul?
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
And we are live. Today is 8th of December. Uh, Today is Monday, and this is OSRA Daily Scrum. Here is Brian, Nick, and me. And let's start. Brian, let's start with you.
Um, I was working on 208 some more with code review, and it seems to always move in the same direction, um, with the testing. So I'm thinking about trying a new way to do that one, whether it's um, swapping roles or pair programming or something. And then there was a couple other stories. The 262, I added a couple subtasks. There's a few more subtasks to be added yet. And I thought there was another one. Maybe there's not. I don't know. And I did have a question for you guys too. On 239, make display of click here for all orphans link. So effectively that could either be a subtask of the move partner to Rails, or it could be also implemented in active admin for a short time. It's practically already implemented in the number 262, but I wasn't sure if you guys also wanted me to put it in active admin or how important that was, because the way it sits now, it's going to show up as done when 262 starts filtering through. So that's kind of a question I had about that one.
So this is showing the link for click here for orphan lists, even if there aren't any.
Yeah, that's already implemented, but it's implemented inside of Rails, not active
Right.
admin.
Yeah. I would say let it be in active admin. The client didn't ask for this specifically. This was just something that I picked up on when I was browsing around. It's certainly not a big enough issue to go out of our way.
Well, that answers the question completely. I also took the liberty of taking off click here, because click here should never show up on any web app ever.
Thank you.
So I thought there might be another one, but I'm not seeing it. So I guess Nick or Pavel?
Yeah.
So that's it for you, Brian?
I thought there was another one, but I don't remember. I might remember.
Okay. So my turn next. I submitted a pull request for a subtask of this story. So before, what was implemented was that the orphans that were being imported could not already exist in the database. If they did, the application raised an error, but it turned out that the partner also wanted to make sure that, or I guess it turned out that it can happen that the orphan list that they're importing can have duplicate records in it as well. And so they wanted to have an extra validation for that. And I wrote this code, and in the process I've significantly refactored the import action of that controller. And one other thing that I caught was that pending orphans could end up, could persist in the database even after the import is finished, because their destruction was not guaranteed at the end of the import process. And so that pull request also includes short bit of code to make sure that they are destroyed when the import is finished. Two other things that I did today was based on the client meeting that we had. I entered 2 stories, 2 more tasks into Jira. One is this. So up until now, the application has been importing records in the reverse order from how they appear in the Excel spreadsheets. And this hasn't been a problem in and of itself, but what becomes a problem is that if there are any validation issues with those records, then the application refers to them as record number 1, record number 2, and so forth. And so for the client, it was difficult to have to figure out every time that they actually need to start counting from the bottom to see which record it is that they're having problems with. So there is a task to make sure that the orphans are imported in the correct order. And the other task is this. So I wrote on Slack earlier today that the client told us yesterday that they will be importing up to 300 records per single import initially when they're migrating to the application, and on a day-to-day basis they'll be importing somewhere between 10 and 30 records per single import. And the fact is that our application breaks somewhere between 15 and 25 records. There is a problem with the cookie store overflowing because it exceeds 4 KB, which is the limit for standard limit for Rails cookies. What I'm trying to understand, excuse me, is why we're storing so much data in the cookies in the first place, because I don't see why that has to happen, and try to fix that problem. And yeah, I've been talking to Brian, I guess, back and forth today, not just today, for past few days now about this. OSRA 208, and we need to decide on the best way to handle it to everybody's satisfaction. And that's it.
If I could go again, I did remember there was another one, but it's not on the Scrum board. That's why I couldn't remember it. It's 277. I wasn't sure if I should add it because yesterday we were at the end of a sprint or whatnot, and I didn't know if I could add things to the Scrum board. But 277 is in there under code review. Effectively, that fixes it updates the gem to use the corrected clear filters button, which has now been added to active admin. All it does is it bumps the gem up to the the PR. So it's basically up to Edge.
So it hasn't been merged into active admin master yet?
No, it is merged into master, but I don't think it's under like a version or a release or something, because I couldn't get it to pull unless I specifically said I want it here, and then everything works fine. I think we were quote unquote past the newest version.
Okay.
So those two things, and then the HTML multi-part is just an update for some deprecated syntax, and one of the other gems was updated. That's what the multi-part is for. Brings everything up to date, or past up to date. What will be up to date soon.
All right, cool.
Okay. Well, guys, as we discussed yesterday, we need to make new sprint. So let me share my screen. Mhm. Let's close current sprint with what we have. Why do we have this rocket? Do you think we are moving like a rocket?
Hmm.
We need to change it to turtle. It would be funny. Okay. Hmm. Let's finish it. Oh, we just 2 hours late after a predictable end date.
Much better than the last sprint, huh?
Yes. OSRA 95, incomplete subtasks. OSRA 90. Oh, 91, I think.
91, yeah.
Yeah. Disorganization fixture. Do we finish this story?
Oh, yeah, it's been merged in.
So this one is finished too, right?
Yeah, both remaining subtasks for that are done. 267, 268, yeah, they're finished.
Ah, date. Yes. Okay. Happy. So this uniqueness validation is still wasn't accepted by the client, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, 3 issues, 14 incomplete tasks. Mhm. This one without burn down chart.
It's not pretty.
Yeah,
It's prettier than the last one.
I'm not sure.
Well, we were smarter this time not to keep taking on tasks during.
Yeah, the sprint form was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, sprint form. Oh, guys, I don't know. Okay, backlog. Let's plan our next sprint. Sprint 7. Uh,
277.
yeah, we need to understand where we. I think what to anti-lead user.
Yep.
This is our sprint. 6 points. Still, yeah. Let's start it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Uh, what about our velocity chart? Mm, yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, at least we have what to discuss.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we always have our commitments. But actually, this isn't correct because it was divided into two. But even with two, it was better than sprint 6. Okay, well,
I'll always have good memories of Sprint 3.
yeah. Sprint 3 and sprint 4 was really good.
So how many developers were working on Sprint 3?
3. Well, Modus and Craig and myself.
At the end of a project, you have a lot of issues that you cannot claim as your stories, and it's not that much work onto something new, more about sustaining, and have almost the same problems with real projects. Well, I don't know where medicine from it now. Maybe later we will find it. Okay. Any things to discuss? Nick? Brian?
Well, I think that does it for us. We just,
How do
I
you
guess-
make
yeah, go ahead, Brian.
OSRA 277 show up on there?
277 show up on where? What do you mean?
On the Scrum board.
277?
Where is 277? I don't see it.
It's
It's in to do.
I'm on it.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, you want to make it show up on a Scrum board.
Yeah, it's here. I sent it in the chat.
Okay. What you need to do is go to backlog on Jira.
277 in backlog, but we haven't put it
Okay.
into the Scrum.
And then in your
And then if you right-click on that story, I think there's an option to move it into the sprint.
oh, that might have done it.
Yeah, have you done it?
I think so.
Okay.
Yep, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great. Let's see. Yeah, it's there. Okay. No, anything else?
Well, it doesn't really, it almost doesn't seem like the best time to say it since there's only 2 developers here out of the whole team, but just I guess the message, perhaps other people will watch this later, that with us being so close to the end, there are some very clearly defined tasks that need to be accomplished before we go to production.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just encourage everybody to focus on getting those done.
Mm-hmm. Flag tasks, right?
So everything that's flagged in Jira, and there are the pull requests that correspond to at least some of them on GitHub I've tagged with priority. So it's very clear that those pull requests need to receive first attention.
Okay, let's focus on it. Let me write a goal here. This one, so everyone can remember it.
Yeah, thanks, Bo.
What's holding up number 264 is that we're just waiting on the client, right? Or is there something wrong with it?
264? Yes, we're waiting for a point.
No, actually, there is a story and code review, a subtask of that, OSRA 276.
276?
Yeah.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Okay, guys, and see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, bye, Pavel.
Okay, bye-bye.